All right, well, that was a thumbnail of the last video. I'm glad it popped up like that. I went ahead and kept it. I thought that was pretty much perfect. So we're just trying to expand. We're trying to, I mean, if this is a very fallen angel, if this is, it is. Let's just don't say if. This is fallen angel technology. So let's just see how far the Holy Spirit will allow us to understand. Again, we're not those YouTube sites where they're going to give you general overall. They're going to kind of give you the Alex Jones effect, where they're going to give you the spectacular, mislead you, sensational, but they're never going to give you anything of the real root. They'll never take you. I mean, once we realized Trump was Antichrist, we went down that rabbit hole and we stayed on it. And we stay on it and stay on it and stay on it. And we're always looking for the big picture. And the big picture is the Bible, and the big event is the deadly wound to the Antichrist from Revelation 13. I think it's 13:3, 13:12, 13:14. If not, it's 13:2, 13:12, 13:14. And we do have some comments. And I think Jamie's Patriots was, yeah, Pat Riots, she said. And first time I've heard from Darnell Ruffin. And I thought what he had to say was pretty interesting. He's got 119 subscribers. We know that 119 stands for Donald. Darnell, I had 322 subscribers for days. Then it went up and down at 322. So it's nice to have you aboard. You're a street minister. I don't know how you'll like my daily Bible studies. I'd invite you to come to them, where we teach election, predestination, hell is not eternal torment. God knew his sheep before the foundation of the world. Jesus only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And sheep are born lost, goats are born goats. But sheep are born sheep. Like Paul said, when I was cut from my mother's womb and called by his grace, he went on to kill Christians until the Lord gave him the actual calling on the road to Damascus. But he was a sheep when he was born, is what he was saying. And we're told in Ephesians 1, 4, and 5, he knew you from before the foundation of the world, if you're a sheep. That's why Jesus said, I never knew you. It's the exact opposite of for those he did foreknow. Romans 8, 29 and 30. For whom he did foreknow, which then is just the opposite of Jesus saying in Matthew 7:23, I never knew you. So he either knew you from before the foundation of the world, he foreknew you, or he never knew you. And so John 3:16, for God so loved the world, we know that's the wrong definition that the Catholic Erasmus chose. He was a humanist. He's the one that wrote the received text, known as Textus Receptus. By the way, it's TS Daily Bible Studies. Textus Receptus.
According to Wikipedia, in Christianity, the term Textus Receptus, Latin for received text, refers to all printed editions of the Greek New Testament from Erasmus Novum Instrumentum Omne to the 1633 Elsevier edition.
This is what was used to write the King James, which is known to be the best version we got. Written by Erasmus. Wasn't there a comet named Erasmus? Erasmus Novum, Wikipedia.
Here's a summary from Wikipedia. Novum Instrumentum Omne was the first published New Testament in Greek. Erasmus used several Greek manuscripts housed in Basel, but some verses in Revelation he translated from the Latin Vulgate.
And then you come down here. Erasmus.
According to Wikipedia, Desiderius Erasmus Roterodamus was a Dutch philosopher and Catholic theologian who is considered one of the greatest scholars of the Northern Renaissance.
And he was Prince of the Humanist and has been called the crowning glory of the Christian humanist. Textus Receptus is what was used to write the King James. Can't believe I can't find Textus Receptus in here in his write-up. Textus Receptus, the received text. When you go down and you read it, it says the translation of the New Testament into English by William Tyndale, the King James, the Spanish. So it was used to write the King James. The biblical Textus Receptus constituted the translation base for the original German Luther Bible, translation of the New Testament into English by William Tyndale, the King James Version, the Spanish Renea. So half Catholics and half Protestants wrote the King James. They fought over every verse. The Lord allowed your Bible to be written cryptically. And Erasmus chose the fifth definition of the whole world because he was a humanist. He believed in man over the spirit. And he chose God loved the whole world instead of the very first definition, which is what he should have used, the very first definition, which is what? For God so loved his appropriate harmonious arrangement, order, constitution, government. For God so loved his kingdom, his government, his kingdom, his harmonious arranging of his kingdom. When? From before the foundation of the world. For God so loved, you could just say, for God so loved his sheep. You could say, for God so loved his harmonious arrangement. You could say, for God so loved his kingdom that he sent his only begotten son. For God so loved Israel. You're like, well, I'm not Israeli. We're grafted in Jews. That's Romans 11. We're spiritual Jews of the true Israel. They say that they are Jews, but they are not, but they are of the synagogue of Satan. That's Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Why twice? I think one's for those who claim to be Christians but are not, and those who claim to be of the Jewish faith, the true Jewish faith, but are not. Those who claim to be sheep, those who claim to be Jews. Those who claim to be Jews today are not in Christ. They are the remnant that get awakened after the last non-Jew comes to Christ. That's Romans 11:25. For blindness in part has happened to Israel, meaning the bloodline. For blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in, until the very last non-bloodline sheep gets the call. After that, the remnant wakes up. He calls them. This will all take place during the abomination of desolation. The last Gentile sheep and then the true bloodline sheep get the call. And to them, that temple, that third temple where the Antichrist is going to do the deed, that is a holy place right up until that moment. That's why Jesus said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Let whosoever readeth understand. The next verse, it tells them to flee Judea. Them which be in Judea flee. Why? Because it's taking place in Judea. It's the third temple. Your body's the temple of God. A sheep's body is the temple of God. The man, Antichrist, is not going to be standing inside of a sheep's body. By proxy, that's impossible, no matter how you spell it. Hey, did you know Tom Brady's 600th pass was caught by player for his 66th catch? 600th pass of the season, I guess, right? 66th catch of the season. I don't think nobody really paid attention to it last weekend, and I'm sure it's more behind it. Anyway, good video. Darnell, thank you. Welcome. That is so interesting. I don't know who told you that, but that's great stuff. Might have caught it in the newspaper, might have caught it from another YouTube channel, but that's outstanding. That's outstanding. I believe that was on the 23rd, 24th, Sunday. I don't know, but we know Tom Brady represents probably Trump. Married a model, Trump married a model, lives in Manhattan, Trump in Manhattan. He's a portaled younger version. See, you can look at the portal a different way too. Their whole world is about portaling. And we call that predictive programming, or making somebody like Tom Brady, because of certain things, fit the Antichrist character, like Nick Saban maybe fitting the Satan character. They call him Nick Satan, or the devil himself over there at Alabama. And that's why they're propped up. And we've been all through why Alabama's propped up. But if you want to know, just ask. I'll do it in a video. But so the portal, and there's a lot of ways to portal. Predictive programming is a form of portaling. There is no such thing as time travel. Another way that they would say Trump is the time traveler is because he is of the 7 kings of Mystery Babylon. They are all connected to each other. But Trump's future is in the Bible. He's the Antichrist. He's written in the future. He's the horn. He's written in the book of Daniel. He's written in the past. He is a time traveler. As he has been spoken about through time. And what he's going to do in the future and everything else. So, in closing, there was a few things I wanted to shore up. And you're right, we do need to go through the rest of the comments. Yeah, that's right. I paused. So Michael said, we went through and he liked 1038. And so we started doing the 37s. Now you see the 101 days, that brings us to either September 21st. Do you remember the 21st night of September? So that's always, and that was Earth, Wind, and Fire, very satanic. I mean, that's my favorite band of my, junior and senior year, as far as funk band or pop band. I was into Steely Dan, who are, they did Babylon. So they did, but if you look at Earth, Wind, and Fire's album covers, it's all about the Egyptian gods and goddesses, and of course, Earth, Wind, Fire. They're all about nature and that whole Mother Earth realm. But remember how we then 37 days, 37 days, 37 days. Well, if you look at, again, second wife, 10 times 28 times 73 times her by next year, 2022. You got the 111, which is May Day from the portal. I mean, you got a lot of stuff. And, You know me, I get into all of it, but I'm not going to, obviously. But that's been her number, that 111 for years. With the year, I mean, if you just go back to 2012, 111, 15, 4 ones. My goodness, what about the year we met? 1107. So anyway, probably around the time of the divorce, 1109. There's that 1109. And 519, my third marriage number. 3 digits. Because 517 was me and my first wife combined. And so the last year, because after the divorce, we still continued to see each other. So until May 23rd, 2010. So if you go 2010, it begins the 111. And look at the 404, the opening of the book of Revelation. What was the 44 we connected? I can't remember that. Connecting some days, 44 days apart. I don't remember what that was, but if y'all do, remind me. So the reason why it could go down on the 30th is because the 30th, and I'm sure AWTR will tell us 37 is a prime number and it's a special number. Well, it's God and his cleansing process. God is the 3, the trilogy. The 7 is the number for the cleansing, the refinement of the church and of the earth. It's the cleansing process. People say, well, that's God's number. No, it's God's number for cleansing. God doesn't really have a number. And he went down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, and his flesh became like unto a little child, and he was clean. That's what the 7 lampstands is, because the church is going through its cleanse. The 7 parts of the trumpet, bowl judgments, 7 trumpets, 7 bowls, all of God's wrath, because he's cleansing the earth of all the wickedness. That's when Satan and they're all locked up for 1,000 years, because the earth's been cleansed and Jesus has his 1,000-year millennial reign. So it's not like 7's God's number. Antichrist has a number. God doesn't have a number. You can't pigeonhole God into a number. Everybody else can be numbered. So about 37 prime number. How is 37 a prime number? Is 37 a prime number? What is the next prime number? What is the next prime? 37 number, Wikipedia. That's probably what we need to get involved in. And of course, my second wife was born in 73. It's the 12th prime number. Well, 12 is the church. 12 apostles, 12 tribes of Israel. So that's why 37 is such a key number. Okay. $12 times 12, 144. So that's what 37 is all about. So what I'm trying to say is any of those multiples of 37 through the portal seem to be extremely meaningful. Did we go 37 times 5? 185. If you run 185 through the portal, adding it through the portal, you get the day I got married to my second wife. You got to be kidding me. Remember I told you my first marriage was on March 12th, 1983. And it had an 88 in it. It had the 138 that Michael talked about and the 88. See the 71? Or excuse me, see the 713? Then I got married to my second wife on 714, July 14th. You've got to be kidding me. I told you my marriage to her, the Lord showed me through numbers, was nothing but the end times in my salvational process. Remember, her first husband, her, they combined to 88. So the next progression, the Lord told me, move it up a progression. Her second husband, you, is the next one. That's 88. Or if you go out 3 digits, it would be 872 is what I was. Well, 873 is her next marriage. And I know when she gets married, that's what kicks everything off. She is going to be married a third time to me or the guy she's living with now. But I would definitely bet the guy she's living with now. And look at that 873 in her first marriage number. So it was like right there, her original marriage, it's told you're going to be married. And you see that 92, and me and her come up to, it begins with 92, me, her times the year beginning in 2022. That doesn't mean I'm going to marry her. It just means in our year that begins in 92, she will be married again. And she might marry the guy who was born on 727, which is the length of IPEC goat, 727. I don't know. I just, and don't care. Do not care. Because you got to know everything's in the hands of the Lord. So let's subtract 185 days and see what lands on it. Goes back the other way, July 9th. So it's a little over the halfway point. Okay. Well, Michael came up with some pretty cool stuff, or AWTR did. So let's keep going through the comments because you're going to see something very interesting. Well, this person here threw a lot of stuff out there. There are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. 22nd Psalms. Got the cross and Jesus. 22nd letter is the last letter. Is on the other side of the cross. A wedding, let me explain in English, which of course God foreknew would be the language of the earth. The 23rd letter is W on the keyboard. God didn't just know, God ordained it. Declaring the end from the beginning. He has set everything into motion. The fallen angels are doing nothing more than what he declared that they would do. Period. So be of good cheer. There's not even a struggle taking place. It will seem like it in the flesh because you're portaled into this sphere of existence that we have to go through in order to earn our salvation. You know, like, well, you don't earn your salvation. No, you're predestined to it. But like it says in Acts 14:22, we all through much tribulation enter the kingdom. So you have to go through it. So that's why I use the word earn. You have to go through tribulation. You must suffer as Christ suffered. Not exactly nail for nail, cross for cross. But you don't go to your grave married to the world, celebrating Christmas and connected with all the powerful people and just say, well, I love Jesus. You're going to get that. I never knew you. straight up. Because for whom the Lord loveth, he chastens and scourges every son whom he receiveth. That's Hebrews 12, 6-8. And Jesus said, the world hated me before it hated you, but I've called you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. If he never called you out of the world, friendship with the world is enmity to God. It's James 4:4. If you die, I don't care how you claim Christ. Not everyone that says to me, Lord, Lord, and we prophesy in your name, do many wonderful works in your name. Cast out demons in your name. I never knew you. Anyway, on the keyboard, the numbers 2 and 3, and about the okay, keyboard W 2 and 3. I got you. I see that. Okay. I believe the fallen angels put together the keyboard. I think the ghost in the machine, and they were able to speak out of a speaker and be created into a machine process. The first computer that, of course, we'll never know about. They'll never give you that history. That they started telling man how to do everything. Which is why the industrial age and everything just went zoom. To where I can take a picture here in Florida and click a button on something I'm holding that's not even attached to anything but my hand. And within seconds, somebody in China with something they're holding in their hand goes, oh, I see his picture. It's magic. As one YouTube guy said, controlled opposition. Satan is the prince of the power of the air. And all those towers that you see up there, all connected to the air. Through the air of the air. 23 chromosomes, wedding, wife, matrimony, marriage, man, woman. Well, I see where you went with that 22 because, you know, how the 22 is so prominent in my marriage. Met her on the 22nd, divorced on February 2nd. And so they were trolling all of me and my existence during Groundhog Day. You wake up and we're living the same life I've been living, that divorce since it happened. But it's because that's where the Lord put me. He's like, now I'm going to take you through a journey. It's been quite a journey. 23rd Psalm of David, that's an iPet goat. Ends with, I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The 22nd state signed into union was Alabama. I saw the top of it. It said Alabama. 22nd state signed into union, Alabama. Ooh, the crimson tide of the blood of the sheep. The elephant makes the trump horn sound. The crimson tide of the red waves of blood that we found in Welcome to the Machine, Pink Floyd. You see all the waves of blood. Yeah. Heads getting lopped off. That's sheep losing their heads per Revelation. There's the monoliths popping up. Right, the blood rises of the sheep. Look at that. And there's the monolith. Welcome to the machine. And it ascends. The Machine, Fraternity, Alabama. By far the most powerful fraternity in the South. Skull and Bones, you could argue. That's why Alabama has been propped to the top of the fake college football world. Secret society with some degree of influence over campus and Alabama state politics. This group has operated in varying degrees of secrecy since 1914. is credited with selecting and ensuring election candidates, a student government, homecoming queen, and other influential off-campus, including Student Government Association, evidently publicly noted as a political machine. But we really know what that machine's about. It's about the Ghost in the Machine, which is an album by the Police in 1981, because Satan is in the computer. They have shown us that through the predictive programming. Nothing like watching the movie Lucy to really drive it home, but Jesus allowed himself to be put on the cross. God ordained that Jesus would be put on the cross, that he would come into flesh and be put on the cross. He endured the shame of the cross and laid on the other side. 2023, 7 years later, 2030, another 23, 1,000 years, and you get to 3030, end of the story, and into eternity. I'm not sure about what that, I think everything's going to come to an end in 2022, 2023, 2024. Remember, my street address ended at 2024. There was no 2023 on it. The only other state which the flag across Florida. Okay, let me go back. She's going to get in the state of Florida too, or he is. Is that he or she? Okay. Did I get these out of order? The only other state with a flag is Florida, which adjoins its southern border. Let me find this read real quick in the comments. Let's go all the way down it. All right, I had to break into my other email because this comment came from Telling Truth Archives because I uploaded it there. Okay, the 22nd state in Alabama in the Union, which has an X as a state flag. The only other state flag with an X is Florida, which adjoins its southern border. Jesus allowed himself to be put on a cross to purchase a bride. He endured the shame of the cross for what laid on the other side. 2023, 7 years. 2030, another 23. 1,000 years later, 3030, the end of the story, and into eternity. 23 is an important number. We should talk. Okay. We'll definitely talk. You got the 23 in your phone number. You got my 42 in your phone number. I just look at numbers. I can't help but look at numbers. So anyway, let's get back. I told Charlie Brown, I said, because I thought of a way to explain it typing or writing it instead of things that I had said on the videos. I said, not to mislead you, it's not time travel. It's having a set day to pivot back and forth from, which is Janus Tenet, or January 10th. That is a ground zero date, or a date which you move math forwards and backwards, adding 37 days, subtracting 37 days, adding 100 days, subtracting 100, whatever you want to do. And we like that prime number of 37 because it seems to hit on everything, or hit on much. And so I see the 14th, 10th, 11th and a half, 13th, 12th, 11th and a half. So July 11th and a half is the center point, or that's 7-11. Revelation 11:7, beast rises out of the bottomless pit. But that is the halfway point when you cross the portal over, if I'm not mistaken. There's 182 days plus 183 days. So if you go back 182, it should put you on the 12th. It does. If you go up 182, should put you on the 11th. So what's the halfway point? The 11th and a half. Just like the middle of IPEC GOAT is 343 and a half. What is 343? Well, it's 3 minutes, 43 seconds, but what else? What's the number 343? 7 times 7 times 7. It's 343. It's 180. It's 223 minutes, I think. Or seconds, I mean. 60, 60, 60. It's 180 plus 43. Well, plus 20 is 200 plus another 20 is 220 plus the 3. 223.5. So you've got, it's not time travel. It's having a set day to pivot back and forth on. Fallen angel math, fallen angel technology. January 10th is Janus Tenet from The God and movie, because it's the god Janus in the movie Tenet by Christopher Nolan, who did the Dark Knight series and The Prestige, which was about cloning. So January 10th, we use simple addition and subtraction. By using simple addition and subtraction, they are creating future events based on past events that they scripted. So being that they know the future events, fallen angels do, they scripted previous events on the exact opposite day through that portal. And so or they set dates through, or dates that occurred in that one calendar year from Janus Tenet 2022. And we know it's 2022 because that's the month that hits on Donnie Darko, Donnie Darko's calendar. And Donnie Darko, it begins on the new moon of January 2nd this year. But in that movie, they called it October 2nd. And the next date they take you to in the Donnie Darko movie is October 10th. And that's Janus Tenet when you overlap it with the month of January, because it's the exact same calendar. Begins on a Monday. I mean, it begins on a Saturday. Well, I forget. Donnie Darko 1988 calendar. I know the Monday's the 10th. That much I can remember. Duh. Well, of all the times, we've always been able to bring it up. October 1988 calendar. That's how I searched it. That's on me. I'll accept the blame for that. Yeah, it begins on a Saturday, and the 10th is on a Monday. And now you go January 2022 calendar. Begins on a Saturday, got the 10th on a Monday. So it's a mirror of Donnie Darko's. Boom, 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 boom. Same thing. So we know that this January 10th is it. That's the year. The new moon is on Sunday, January 2nd, as Donnie Darko began on October 2nd. Did we check everything? So the moral of the story was, as Michael gives us the 30th of Rocktober, let's going to flip those days backwards since one's before the other. You get that 72. Oh, it was today's date is 74 days. That's right. Today's date of October 28th is 74 days. Oh, yeah. Today's date is 74 days. Add 74, you get March 25th. Subtract 74. Well, I mistitled it then. Subtract it. You get today's date, October 28th, the second wife's birthday. If you do Michael's 72 days for October 30th and add that, it's March 23rd. But we like that 74 because it's 37 plus 37 is 74 plus 37, 111 plus 37, 148 plus 37 is 185. Then you've crossed over. Two, two, two. Yeah, let me see what that comes to. That's interesting. That's the Eve. That's Genesis 2:2. Genesis chapter 2, verse 22. The birth of Eve from the rib. It's all about Eve. I just want to look at it real quick. You get August 20th. You get June 2nd. The mother of my grandchild. But all right, well, I mistitled that video I did with Michael. I got crossed up with the math. See, now that we're doing this, you gotta have your math straight. You're really messed up. So May Day, October 28th, now combine them. I had the wrong math. And that really, again, 37 plus 37 is 74 plus 37. It's 111. That's really throwing me into something very involved that I told y'all about in my numbers video, but I'm not going to get into it here. Green agenda, we seek, we find. I'll be checking that out. AWTR had a great video. Need to check that out. I'll put this one along with AWTR's in the comments. I haven't even seen this one yet. I just like everything they do. But when you put the 37, that prime number, into the portal date, you get the solar eclipse of December 4th. When you add it, you get the snow full moon of February 16th. Now you key in 74, add it, takes you to March 25th, subtract it, take you to October 28th. Now you go to 111. Subtract it. You go to do you remember the 21st night of September? Add it. You get May 1st. What is so strange is the second one through there was my second wife, October 28th. If y'all remember me telling you about somebody that's had a pretty profound effect on me over the past year. Their birthday is May 1st. Can't make it up. It's all back in my numbers video. I'm not going to get into it here if you're that interested, but be a witness to it. I remember saying it. Kind of wished I didn't say it, but that's really freaky. And remember, when you click on it, the numbers, so it's 52, 51 in length. Well, 51 was my first marriage number. 52, my second. Remember, first wife, Obama's birthday. Obama, my first wife's day and my year, because Obama was born in 1961 on August 4th, and my first wife was August 4th. 8 times 4 times 1964. That's my first wife. So my second wife would be 63. My third wife would be 64. And I showed you all this stuff in those numbers. What I was doing, I was showing you the 50, why it's 52, 51 long. It just blew my mind. And times it by my number, 82362. Are we on? Again, she's 62848 times 862. Why am I 82362? Because I am 7 times 6 times 1961. You get the 51. And my second marriage was what? It was 52. And the length of the video is 51 and 52. Well, here's the funny part. It gets even nuttier. That's my birthday in my marriage number. May Day. Day 121. May Day. And that's the progression through the portal, adding the 37 the third time. That's freaky. Well, if that's the Lord's will and that's what's going to end up happening, the Lord's got a lot of stuff still to go down. So I'm about as single as you can get, and that person has their own situation going on. That's about all I'm going to say about that. That's just blowing my mind, though. Don't use the portal for your personal life. Well, I won't, but that just freaked me out. I saw stuff. I can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle. So it's fallen angel math, or is it God's math? Because what I just showed you, if that comes true, that's not, fallen angels didn't ordain my life. God did. Or any of our lives. So it's math in which you use simple addition and subtraction. And what the fallen angels are doing is creating their end times events to it and from it. Straight up. Anyone finding this simple code, we then can figure stuff out in advance. We won't make it to 2024, my friend, or at least not past it. No, I don't think so at all. I think we're here. I just finished watching Donnie Darko movie review, 2-hour video. And yes, that is fascinating, that 313 and the 313th day matchup. Now, how did we get to that? That was 62 days in both directions. 62 days in both directions. You go back 62 days, you go up 62 days, you get 313 or March 13th. You go back 62 days, you get November 9th. Which is 1109. Oh, I'm sorry. I started daydreaming. which is the 313th day of the year. So it's 313 day of the year. And, November 10th, the next day would be 314. But November 9th is the 313th day of the year. When you add the 62, you get 313, March 13th. So that is when we knew we were on to something after it connecting. The reason why we know it's 2022 is because when you add and subtract 37, God's prime number for his church, we just found out. That was freaky. It's the 12th prime number. You add it falls on the snow full moon of Ipet Goat. You subtract it, it falls on the solar eclipse of December 4th. So that's how we know that you're meshing and mixing the fallen angels with God's plan at the Janus Tenet 2022 date. And they know God's plan. And so it's God's math. It's God's overall plan because he's ordained the end from the beginning. And I guess that's something that if you're new to my channel and you don't really know it, grasp it, understand it, is the Bible is written as cause and effect. Like, well, because the Jews did this, then God had to react, and then God did that. God does not react. He's not playing whack-a-mole like Jim Carrey did in the movie. Jim Carrey played God in the movie. Bruce Almighty. Bruce Almighty movie clip, YouTube. Bruce meets God. Of course, it's Morgan Freeman. Well, of course. Somebody said Morgan Freeman represents Obama. In the movie, his name was Lucius Fox of the Batman trilogy. That's Lucifer, and Fox is 666 in Pythagorean gematria. Fox is 666. Click images. 6 FOX. That's Trump's channel. Hello. And so his name was Lucius Fox in the Batman trilogy. Well, Lucius Trust was called Lucifer Trust with the United Nations. Lucius is another offshoot word for Lucifer, like Lucy is. Did you know? Oh, okay, I was showing you Isaiah 46:10. There's times I wish I could rewind and go back so I can pick up where I left off, and you can't because I'm recording. I don't have all that kind of technology. Declaring the end from the beginning. See, God's declared that the Jews would make the mistake, and then he would then do that. It's just written like cause and effect because it's a big parable. And from ancient times, see, what is the end? Revelation. What's the beginning? Genesis. God's already declared it. Revelation's written. What do you think he's waiting on? People will go, well, God knows the future. Knows the future? Knows the future? So he's a psychic? No, Satan and them know the future. God ordained the future. Don't get it confused. And from ancient times, there are things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, I will do my pleasure. Just to show you that God's not reacting. Part 2. God said, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Why did he have to create the evil? Because that's how he purges the church. Is it because of what Adam and Eve did? Nope. God ordained what Adam and Eve would do. It's because Satan fell. God created a third of the angels with a glitch. Seriously, what else you want to know? I mean, come on. God's not a reactor. God doesn't go around and go, oh, damn it. And that's why I was bringing up the Bruce Almighty videos, because you get any more comments just to make sure. Okay. Monkey scene, funny scenes, prayer scene, bloopers, ending, trailer. I guess the trailer will give it to me. There was a scene I wanted you to see. So let me
They're very special.
Well, there he is. Obama. I've said for a long time, I think Obama's a false prophet because you have one man that's white and one man that's black as they unify the world. But it's an overtaking. It's not like you have to politic him into it. It's for God will send them a strong delusion. They will believe that they will believe in no matter if all of them are black or all of them are white. If God's going to send you a strong delusion and you're going to fall for it, then you're going to fall for it. You have control over what God's ordained. That's what Jesus said. No man can pluck them out of my Father's hand. God ordains everything. Who the sheep are, he knows them, or he never knew you.
I am God.
Oh, he's God. What does he do? Then he takes his place.
Please. Okay, how many fingers am I holding up? 7. Aha!
I love the movie back in the day when I was all up in that flesh. I'm sure if I watched it, I'd be entertained. But you just see right through them. So I guess I'm not getting what I wanted, where he's sitting at a computer and he's answering all these emails like typewriters and stuff. I don't know. That's not what God's doing. That's what they want you to think he's doing. And it wasn't in the trailer. I'm not going to look for it anymore. But that's not how God, they want you to think that's how, God's not a reactor. So I think we're continuing with comments. AWTR. I just finished watching Donnie Darko movie review. And yes, that is fascinating that 1/3, that 313 and 113th day of the year are the same amount of days from the 110. And if that is coming from, what is that, the 62? Yeah, that's the 62. Same amount of days from 110, including the end dates. You get 63 days. In other words, if you include the 2 days that ground zero begins on and the end dates as bookends and include each, then it's 63 and 63, which is 126, which is a very important number. And you are not going to believe this. 156. Okay. That's what I wanted to get to. So Trump is born on the 156th day. Or if you portal it, that's 146. Nope. He meant 156 on the portal. That's right. Trump's born on the 165th day. You know what it is? It's 155. It's June 14th through the portal, and you reverse it. Watch it be 89. I mean, 88. Okay, 8988. That's what it is. Trump's, he gave us the wrong math, but we were able to figure it out. 156 after 110 is Trump's birthday, 156 days before. Oh, that's because he does the including dates. Okay. So let's do this again. 155 is on 8/8 for Trump. If you add it through the portal, it's Trump's birthday. Fascinating. Janus Tenet. That's why they made the god Janus January, looking forwards and backwards. Their world. And then Proverbs 16:4, their world, God created the evil in this world. And all the fallen angels are doing is then playing their roles. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. What's the day of evil? The abomination of desolation. That's what starts the purging of the church to make their robes white, per Daniel 11:35 that we've showed you. Or Acts 14:22, we all know that we all must, through much tribulation, enter the kingdom. And there's so many lost sheep out there today. That's what the Great Tribulation is for. Call them, purge them, put them through it. They come out deader than a doornail, most of them. Just like Jesus, dead on the cross. All 12 of the apostles, or 11 of the 12 apostles murdered. Christians in Rome murdered, thrown to the lions, skewered, lit on fire. You have to be persecuted because you have to take your cross like Jesus, spiritually, physically, mentally. I forget the Bible verse. I forget even how to search it. But it's Darnell. Mayday, 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 Mayday. Wow. Day 121 bounces off today, April 28th. Let's wrap it up. I want to watch that. And I'm in that. I'm in my other channel right now. So if I click like, it'll be in my like. Whoops. Thought I was logged into my other channel. Guess not. This is one Jamie found for me. She wanted me to watch it. I thought it was fascinating. Y'all will too.
We have a special addition to the What Are the Chances section of the book for this edition of the Old Fashioned Radio Show. It's very current with news about Alec Baldwin, and it reads like this. What
are the chances?
The chances that Alec Baldwin would star in a movie about a Soviet submarine called The Hunt for Red October, and the person that Baldwin accidentally shot and killed on the set of the movie Rust was the daughter of a Soviet submarine commander?
They portaled it. They made The Hunt for Red October. The Fallen Angels wrote the script, and then the Fallen Angels had them. This is Hollywood, you know. This is Hollywood. So they staged HH dying, stands for, you know, and the bullet actually went through her and into Connolly, or this other guy, just like in JFK, the bullet went through and then hit Governor Connolly. Now, I would not just tell you to trust this site. I'm sure they're going to tell you there's free will and all kind of stuff. So stay away from it as far as anything biblical.
He was in a movie, one of the most famous movies of all time, about a Soviet submarine. Then the person accidentally killed was the daughter of a Soviet submarine commander. Okay, by itself, it's a little strange, but
that all went through the portal. What did I tell you the portal also is? Not the Janus Tenet portal, but they have another portal world, which is predictive programming. They put it in a movie, it ends up happening. It's another quote unquote portal.
But of course, this goes on and on and on. Her name was Helena Hutchins, if that's pronounced correctly. Helena Hutchins,
HH 88 for Trump.
HH's father was actually a Soviet submarine commander. Now, the movie's title, Hunt for Red October, includes the color red, Red October. The etymology of Rust,
Rust, the movie is red. Red is rust, rust is red.
movie that Alec Baldwin was filming when the accident happened. The etymology of rust means red. There's your
And it happened in when?
connection to the 100 Red October again in two places.
It happened in October.
The shooting took place in October this month. It's current news. There's a third connection to the Hunt for Red October. And in the movie, one of Alec Baldwin's, or the character he plays, key points regard.
Remember all the Kennedy and Lincoln stuff? Secretaries, this, that, this.
Why Marco Ramius would defect. That was Sean Connery's character. One of the key points why Marco Ramius would defect.
Now, the Police did an album called Ghost in the Machine. Yes. The Police also did an album called Synchronicity. Synchronicity, the Police album, June 17th, 1983. Red, blue, yeller. A&M Records, 3 days after Trump's birthday. So it basically gives us nothing. King of Pain. That would be Trump. You got Synchronicity 1, Synchronicity 2, wrapped around your finger. Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. There's Ghost in the Machine right there. It's got 666. If you turn it upside down and backwards and flip all those digits around there, it turns into 666. And it's called Ghost in the Machine. Ghost Machine was listed at number 322 on Rolling Stone's list of 500. I can't believe I just saw that. Ghost in the Machine was 322 on Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time. 322, 322, 322. Ghost in the Machine was listed at number 322 on Rolling Stone's list. Come on. You're kidding me, right? Well, just for that, let me get it queued up for you. So, commentary, fair use of the commentary, establishing fair use with commentary. So they're going to show you how this works. So now you know who the police are. So we can kill the sound. That's how they love doing copyright strikes. So upside down and backwards, you see the police is written backwards. Maybe it's just backwards. I don't know if it's upside down. So commentary, commentary, fair use commentary. Commentary, fair use commentary. Establishing fair use with commentary. Anyway. So we got the 88 from Trump's birthday. That's fascinating. I will watch the rest of the playlist tomorrow. You are certainly onto something. Well, anything we're on to that's correct is definitely Holy Spirit led. That's for sure. But thank you for commenting. We need you here. You're here for a reason. AWTR said that. Okay, I need to go up one. This video playlist from the Informed Christians discusses in-depth and changing of the times laws. It is truly mind-blowing. It ties absolutely with your work. It is also important to become familiar with celestial clock. So they're saying that changing of the times and laws ties into what we're saying it is. I think when it's laws, that's talking about Jewish laws. I'm not sure that, he tries to go in Jerusalem and change. People say the times, like he's trying to alter, the Jewish holidays and so forth. I don't know. We do know that it says he tries to have changed time or have something to do with changing time. The Antichrist tries to change time. Bible verse. It's Daniel 7. That's the one we looked up yesterday. Just want to make sure. And think to change times. And we went all through that. And in the Greek, and that person's kind of agreeing that the way we spelled it out is correct. Only the Lord knows for sure. Let God be true and every man a liar. Just take everything to prayer. As someone likes to say, it is important to become familiar with celestial clock. I don't know what that is. Sabine Blamey YouTube channel. What is the celestial clock? Astronomical clock. I have no idea. Then there's a certain YouTube channel, so let me pause. All right, I forgot to record, but I went ahead and went through that YouTube channel. Found it very kind of, you know, I don't know what I saw. A lot of 1502s, 1500s, more rows of 1500s and 1502s. 2.6 thousand views, shining lights and hidden gems in Noah's final week. I don't know. I just don't get caught up in a lot of that. That's just not my calling. My channel is scrambled eggs enough without starting to head down other directions. That might be very correct. It might be very profitable spiritually. So if you're called to the channel and you understand God doesn't love everybody and you know hell is not eternal torment, you know, see where the Lord takes you. If you think God loves everybody and hell is eternal torment, then you're going to go where you're going to be led. All right. So AWTR also said, also it's interesting that you mentioned 6/1 being tenanted date of 8/21 when God said, I am the chosen one. I mean, when Trump said, I am the chosen one. Some notes about 6/1. There are 666 days between June 1st and Obama's birthday. Morgan Freeman, who might represent Obama, yep, that's what it was when I got that from, was born on that day. He has played both God and President. Obama was born 1961. So here's what that portal's telling you right there. That Donald Trump is telling you that Obama is the false prophet. That's what it's telling you. I mean, if we look at this through the transfer portal plane, then what that's telling you is Barack Obama is the false prophet. Born my year, man. He was born. He was born just after I was born on the birthday of my first wife. Fascinating. One was born. Let's look at this for a second. So Trump's birthday and I are born 22 days apart. His birthday, my birthday. Neither one of us are born on a leap year. It's 22 days apart, 528 hours, which 528,000 is a mile. 31680. And that 190, we know that, you know, long story with that one, my wife's fourth marriage number. But let's put him with Obama. "51 days, my marriage number of 51. They're 51 days apart, those two bozos. That's July 9th again. I'll be, you know what? Remember? No, that was July 11th and a half. It was when you go from the portal date. I was going to say they're almost in the middle of where the portal transfers as a midway point. Their midway point. Boy, that was close. Was within a day. Absolutely within one day. Trump to Obama. Obama was born on a leap year. He sure was. Because he was born in 64. So you're adding a day. So then it could put you on it, theoretically. And this is how you would do it. Trump was born on day 160, but you have to do it through the Trump was born on day 165. Barack Obama, 216, 51 days apart. But Barack Obama was actually 217. 217 minus 165 because he was born on a leap year. No, I was born on a leap year. So I was born on a 61. So was Obama. Never mind. I just wasted y'all's time with that. My ex-wife, who's got Obama's birthday, was born on a leap year. See how I'm telling you, man, this stuff is all math now and their word problems, which was my worst thing in school. So you have to be very careful. You can start messing up some George Bush's fuzzy math. So, but that thing there is still telling me, it doesn't change the fact that it's telling me through the portal, through the tenant to date, through the Janus tenant portal, that he's our false prophet. He played both God and the president. Obama was born in 1961 and will be 61 in 2022. But see, he will be 62. No, he will be 61 during the abomination of desolation day. Right? Eight. Do your math right. If you don't do your math right, we think the abomination of desolation day is on the full solar eclipse of 2023. Because why? Two, 539. Oh, he'll be 61 years old. That's what we were looking at. So he'll be 61. Let's go back to his comment. QAnon equals 61 in simple English. 61 is the 8. I'll be 61 years old too during the abomination of desolation. '61 is the 18th prime number. 16 plus 61 equals 77. The triangular number of 6 plus 1 equals 22. The triangular number of 6 is 6 plus 6 plus 6 is, I don't know, that lost me. The triangular number of 6 plus 1. The triangular number of 7. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus, that's what it is. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus the triangular number of 6 plus one more, 61 equals 22. Okay. And the National CPR Week begins on 6/1, heart attack. So anyway, interesting stuff. I wasted y'all's time 2 different times. Sorry about that. What is Trump's age at the abomination of desolation, you ask? I heard y'all ask. 28,069. He's 400 and it's 404 minutes old is how old is the book of Revelation. Oh. He'll be 76 years old and 10 months. I don't know. Did we learn anything today? Did we learn that Obama is the false prophet and what the portaling is? And I don't know. Anyway, love y'all very much. We didn't finish, did we? Her video.
He says he was Ukrainian by birth. So is HH's father.
So both of the Russian submarine captain or admirals, they were both Ukrainian by birth.
Ukrainian by birth. Marco Ramius, this is Ukrainian-born submarine commander. Her father's submarine-born, not submarine-born, Ukrainian-born submarine.
Her dad was a submarine commander. They were both Ukrainian born from the movie and in her real life.
Commander. Now, certainly there couldn't be any more. Yeah, you think it just goes on. It's a song that never ends. It goes on and on and on. Of course, even if
Blah, blah, blah.
I stopped my research, I would have kept going.
Is this guy controlled opposition? 81,000 subscribers? You bet.
The reality would have kept feeding me forever. So here we go. Now, the news stories, when you research this, makes a point that she went from Russia to Los Angeles. They all make it like it's like a connection. Like she grew up on this submarine base. She
From Russia to Los Angeles.
was in Russia and she went to Los Angeles to further her Hollywood career. To Russia to Los Angeles. From Russia with love. So, okay, in the Hunter Red October, back to the movie, the submarine that was hunting the Hunter Red October was called the Dallas. Okay, remember that?
And JFK was killed in Dallas, and the bullet went through the girl and hit the other person, just like it went through JFK and hit the other person. Of course, we know there was no magic bullet. It didn't. One didn't hit JFK and then hit Connolly. There were bullets flying from all over the place. You ever want to know how the JFK thing went down? And they could have hit a clone. There's no telling what all that was. There's no telling what all that was. But it's a documentary called From JFK to 9/11, Everything's a Rich Man's Trick. It's 3+ hours. It's 3 hours, 27 minutes. I understand and wish to proceed. Fascinating. I got it on DVD. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. They show you, man, how those bullets, where everybody was at, where all the shooters were. They'll blow your mind. There were shooters everywhere. Each had a man next to them with a walkie-talkie. I don't know if I would just, by happenstance, land on where I could show you that out of a 3-hour. I thought I found it and went to but I clicked it, but it didn't click. Let's see if I can find it for you. I think we sort of found it, sort of. I'm gonna have to really speed this thing up.
Who also represents Mafia boss Carlos Foncello, Braiding has a getaway pilot waiting, whom Gilly employs as a private detective.
And of course, the mafia and the CIA military, all connected, of course. That's how they run drugs. That's how they get drugs into the streets, guns.
David Ferry. He opens the window, and as Charles Nicoletti loads his rifle, Richard Kane listens to his radio. Car coming.
Commentary, fair use commentary. I declare fair use. I establish it now.
Get ready. Closing the door, Milwaukee Phil Alricio guards the corridor with two Cubans, Rolando Mesferrer and Rolando Otero.
And see, so you see gunmen up there. Can y'all see that? See my cursor? The top of that white building there.
Basic pattern was established all over the plaza. A sniper next to a
Sniper next to a radio.
man, alongside a second marksman who could take over should the first one back out at the last moment.
And they were placed, so you had two marksmen with a walkie-talkie.
Each team was then guarded by more assassins.
And there were teams. You know, he was shot from a drainage ditch on the curb of the road. That's where it stopped and his head blew. People don't know the car came to a complete stop. That's taken out of the Zapruder film, but there's other footage from across the other way that shows it coming to a complete stop. And then his head gets blown off and then the car takes off. And you watch his head gets blown up and back. It came from the rain drain.
So many Cubans. I'll make sure no one.
Look at all that. Sniper, 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 sniper. But then he tells you later on about the one right at the rain drain is right about there on the road.
With each group. It all sounds quite professional. And the truth is, it was. Sam Giancarlo's spy in the Chicago police force, Richard Kane.
So I don't know. And that shows you the spraying of the bullets.
Everything. So that in the next few moments, the 5 remaining riflemen fired, causing the Secret Service agent riding in the front passenger.
My phone's ringing. Hang on a second. Hey, good 44-minute chat with my friend Lori. That was good. So look at how they're showing you all these different marksmen. I'll put it in the, I've done it before, put it in the description, but I've got a lot of new subs. And okay, that disappeared. That's good. And then I've got it fast forwarded up to high speed, and it's going to come up to, I think, the part where it slows the car down, or shows you the car coming to a complete stop. Let me set it now at regular speed. Commentary, fair use commentary. And it's going to show you from the opposite right there. That's from another camera angle. Let's check out the sound, see what he's saying here. 157. Oh, we're at 157.04. Oh, I had it. There we go. That's where I want to be.
When the Zapruder film is run next to the Oval Nix film, taken from the other side.
Oval Nix, it says, but probably Orville Nix film taken from the other side.
It's easy to see from the way the motorcycles suddenly close on the limousine that it stops completely.
Boom.
And we can see that frames have also been removed from the next film by the way in which Agent Clint Hill appears to move sideways.
Interesting. They confiscated both those people's films and then chopped them up.
While running forwards before leaping on the car.
And I can't find where they get into. Oh, there it is. The drain. There's a drain right there. The police officer is looking down at the drain. That's 5138. So let's back it up to 5113.
In the most well-known and iconic image from the assassination of the motorcycle policeman.
Commentary. I declare fair use. Commentary. I'm making commentary by using this video. Fair use.
Heaving his bike onto its stand. Look now
as we
as he looks down at the drain.
freeze frame him here. This is the moment when the whole
He's looking down at that drain where the limo stopped. That's why his head gets blown up and back.
world was looking up the hill toward the man
Everybody was looking at up there at that grassy knoll, and that cop's going, heck no.
who had fired from the grassy knoll. But that is not where the police officer is looking. He is looking down into the storm
Man, I got goosebumps.
drain,
I'm easily
because
amused.
that is where that shot at the stationary
At the stationary car, commentary, fair use. I declare fair use.
car came from. The shot which all
Unbelievable. I'm glad I was able to find that for us. That's cool. I'll put it in the description. What else? I feel like there's something else. That was it. I think I was closing out. All right. Love y'all. Sorry for the bad math and making a few boo-boos. But that's what y'all are here for. And yep, love y'all.